Ladies and gentlemen, this is KTB Worldwide, and we are on the air. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you may be. With me today, as always, he is my tag team partner within the Vic Muscat's Podcasting Network, and one half of the Podcasting Tag Team Champions, Mr. Versace Stoner. Sir, how you doing?
How is it going, Vic? How is it going? Happy to be here. Another great episode. We got another great guest. Looking forward to it.
And today, he is from Smith. What is it? STHLM. How do you pronounce that? Is that just abbreviation or? I don't know. I'll ask our guest.
Well, that's going to be the first question.
Whenever he's at an event, it is always Miller time. He has the sharpest elbows in professional wrestling. He is the one and only Ozzy Miller. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good, thank you.
So
it's a pleasure being here.
So right off the bat, the promotion you wrestle for, is it just a bunch of, is it abbreviation or is it actually like Smith STHLM?
So it's a SHTLM, which is an abbreviation for Stockholm. It is, yeah.
Right. But it's not just people go around and say like Smith and everyone understands.
No, I mean we have like in Sweden, if you see STHLM, you know it's Stockholm. If you see GBG, you know it's Gothenburg. So kind of shortens it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'm in the middle now.
So what got you in this crazy business known as professional wrestling?
I've always been a fan ever since I was a child. You know, I started with the video games. My friend had the SmackDown versus Raw video games, and I started playing as this guy that I saw in the movies. He was in the Scorpion King, and I was like, "Oh, that's the Scorpion King." Little did I know that he was, The Rock. So then, and then my friend told me that it's not just a video game. There's like actual live wrestling going on TV, and you can check it out. And so I started from there, and the first match I saw was Rey Mysterio versus Big Show on SmackDown, and I was a tiny child, and so I looked up to Rey Mysterio quite a lot when I was younger.
Is it just me, or is the older games in the WWE a lot cooler than the current ones?
I agree. I had my favorite game. I might be aging myself because I'm a little bit younger. My favorite game is SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. It was featuring ECW. It's my favorite of all time. I heard people say a lot about the Here Comes the Pain and all that, but
that was okay. And the game you're talking about was great. But for me, like the real pop was like, because I mean, and I'll age myself a little bit. I'm a little bit older, obviously. Growing up, Super Nintendo put out a bunch of wrestling games. Graphics, horrible. Move sets, 3 or 4, music, everything very small quality MIDI. I got really pumped for 2 games that came out. One was Royal Rumble that came out for Super Nintendo. It had all these cool guys that were out in '93. And then the other was actually like when Warzone came to PlayStation. It kind of changed. Everything changed to 3D. And they had to create a character. And then after that would be Attitude Era. And then WCW games came out. And those were really nice too. Like WCW versus the World and stuff. The older N64 stuff. But the game you're talking about, you ask like probably, 10 people their favorite wrestling game. They'll probably say, that's the one.
Yeah. I mean, I think I pretty much like it just because it's my childhood. So it's my introduction to wrestling and wrestling video games. So therefore I latched onto that one. But I'm sure if I started with Here Comes the Pain or WCW versus NWO, those would probably be my favorites. But SmackDown versus Raw 2008 is my favorite, I think.
Well, besides the games these days being like ridiculously expensive, because if you have like everything. Well, when I got the game, I was like, I'm going to create my own character. I'm going to beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. That's all I wanted to do. And what happened? You couldn't do that. You got to go through the camps and everything. It's like the old school games. It was just, if you want to beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes, you can beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. No problem. Nope. You have to, now if you want to be some other wrestler, which I don't, I want to be myself. Nope. You have to be, it's like, You took away the best part.
Yeah. As well as I recently got the new game, the 2K24, and there's like there's two roads you can go, and one is called like Undisputed, and one is called Unleashed. And I thought the Undisputed was like, oh, Roman Reigns dropped the title and you can challenge for it. And then the Unleashed is like, you start on the indies and you work your way up, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, that was really cool. But it's just like, it's just create a character, but female. And I was like, no, I wanna be Ozzy Miller, start on the indies, get to WWE like NXT, and then go up to the main roster.
I think it
that
was,
shtick, but
if I believe correct, it was actually, and the game got a lot of hate because it was a little goofy, but I think it was the 2021, the one that first introduced Bray, that you could actually start on the indie scene. You had like indie matches in the beginning, and you did something, and then like somebody screws you over, and then like, but there was like an NXT like booker there, and he signed you, and like then you get into the training, and it's like that's the whole story. I mean, I get it, in wrestling, they want to jumpstart. Oh, okay, you're already here and there, but like anybody that's like in the industry, they want to start like at the very beginning, and that's not just starting in NXT for the first day. It's like, no, you're on the indie scene, you're working local shows, you're making a name, you win some, you get seen, you get noticed, you get a contract offered.
I think that's so cool as well for maybe people that don't really follow the indie scene, so they can realize that, oh shit, there is an indie scene. If people are just watching Raw and SmackDown and they buy the video game and they start to create a career or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, what do you mean indies? There's only WWE. So I think it would be cool for them to make it accessible for everyone.
And not that I think I also heard back in like 2020, 2021, there was a company that was supposed to be making an indie game, and like they would, at least for the people in the States, they were taking like a lot of face scans. They were having a lot of people come in and do move sets. Like I would love an indie wrestling game. Like even if it was just a sandbox kind of game where like you as the wrestler would have to upload your own character to be played. I would be fine with that. Like I would love a game that was just dedicated to the indie scene, not a creative mode. You have to make the guys like just their moves, their music, everything all done. Like that would be fun to me because I mean that's where my heart is. I grew up like liking WWE, but that's not my favorite thing to watch there. What captivates me is the indies. So that's where like all my focus goes. So I have my fantasy matches are totally different than some WWE fans that might want to see these big names go. It's like for me, I know the guys on the indie scene. I want to see them fight, and that's where I would sit in and play, and that's what I still do now. I'll get in there, I'll do what mode is that? You make your own kind of show and stuff, universe. And I'll import anybody that makes indie guys from my area, and I'll just bring them all in. I'll make my own indie show. I'll let them even run without even me playing, and I'll just do commentary and have fun with it.
That's cool.
And see who wins. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. I would like a game like that. Or even something. Back in the day, there was games of wrestling that like weren't WWE, weren't AEW, just wrestling, and they would just have any character or different characters. Just made up ones, and those were fun too.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, bud. So, what are some of the marquee matches in your career, in your opinion?
Oh wow! On top of my head, I think 4 shows up. The one where I win the Capital City Championship against Dylan Broda, but it was a tournament, so I had defeated Philip Racine and Marcus of Man earlier that night. But I won the title. That's really cool. That's like the height of my and that was so cool. And then me and Marcus had a hair versus hair match. I lost that one, so he cut my hair. He and his crony, I shall call him, they handcuffed my hands behind my back, and they took out the scissors, and they took out the razors or whatever it's called, the buzzers.
Who's his crony? Who's his crony?
His name is Pierre Fachon.
Okay.
I mean, he's like this French guy that dresses extravagantly, and he says that it's fashion.
Well,
But
French
yeah,
fashion is different than French has their own style of fashion. Put it that way.
yeah. I mean, he came out in like a weird hat, some sunglasses, a like silk shirt, and booty shorts, and he's like, "Oh, I'm amazing." It's like, bro, okay. And
Well,
then I had a chairs match in Malmo, which is the south of Sweden, against Seb Silvers, and that
You
match
know, Vic,
was
just stop it for a minute. You know,
yeah, of
what
course, of
that
course.
guy was just talking about, that guy wearing, I think, you know what, Vic, we'll up the ante even more. If you know who wins that match, we will dress like that for the episode. I'll join you.
what are you talking about?
Amazing.
TH?
Yes. If he wins,
I gotta know he's dressed like though.
we just pretend.
Pretend. Yeah.
Okay,
Think creatively.
I'll have my wife do it. My wife would do it.
Yes, have her do your wardrobe if that happens. Okay, sorry. I came across.
Ozzy, give him ideas now. Jeez.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Booty shorts.
I don't think
No, chairs match in Malmo against Seb Silvers. We started as like friends. He became my mentor, and then he turned his back on me, and we had a little bit of a feud. And that chairs match was just unbelievable. And then for my fourth match, it's actually me, Alice Inc., and Marcus of Man in a triple threat, also in Malmo. That was just super cool because they're my trainers. So to be able to step in the ring with both of them was just surreal and very awesome.
Now, Marcus of Man, he's a legend over there, is he not?
Yeah, he's kind of like like a staple of Swedish wrestling. Like you can't hear people of Swedish wrestling. They know Marcus of Man. You can't go anyways about it. He is a staple. He is like he's very very well known here in Sweden.
I gotta kiss his buddy. Try to bring him back on.
I actually saw your interview with him not so long ago.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's been on. No, the intro, to give the devil its due, the intro that he had with Saraz Mulber playing the violin.
Yeah,
was
when he faced Dimitri
that was something. It was
That
Fasashi.
was so
We
cool.
see the whole Nakamura, the violin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I really think that with the downfall of the promotions is they try to be too fancy. They try to be the big screen and all the lights and everything. This was like outside during a beer fest. You didn't have any lights, and all you saw was, of course, the drunken crowd. Which come on, they were drunken. I'm sorry, people
of course, it's a wrestling show.
It was a beer fest. So what do you expect?
Yeah.
But it was like no lights. You see the crowd, the performance in the ring, and Marcus of Man with. You're right. He did come out with an additional guy that seemed a little.
A little so-so.
No, so, which is fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But it's like, I gotta send you that link for Sashi. I really do.
Yeah, I want to see that. I mean, I'm a fan of that kind of stuff, and entrances and everything that makes an impact. It makes a difference. And when you incorporate live music, I find it brings a different set to what you're gonna do, and it just amps it up. And yes, Nakamura was nice. It was a cool thing, but you're right. They focus a lot on the production end of it, and sometimes you got to let that go and just focus on the performance end of it because that's really what people remember. Yeah, nobody really remembers outside of that. Especially the bunch of drunken crowd. They're not going to remember half of the day anyways.
Yeah. I think it's so cool. The kids nowadays, they call it aura, where Shiraz stands in the middle of the ring, just going ham on the violin. And Marcus comes out with a bottle of champagne and his mask, and just he just stands there. He's like, "Yeah, I'm fucking Marcus of Man," and he walks down the ramp. He takes like maybe 2 laps around the ring. Just like it's me, And then it goes into the ring. It's like, okay, I'm about to have a match now, and I'm fucking Marcus of Man.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's another one I gotta have on soon. Shiraz Moberg. I gotta hit him up.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Really like him. Even though he smack talks me every time I'm on the shows.
Next time he smack talks you, tell him I said to cut it out.
I will next time.
No, it'd be interesting if he messages me. So like, oh, you asshole! I got your message. Yeah, it just goes to show that in the United States, there's so many good international talent that they don't get recognition from the States. They don't get anything. I understand that they're not wrestling in the States. Why should we get? I get that, but there's there's certain level of talent what that they deserve to get. It doesn't take. It's like doing this podcast. It doesn't take. It's not that hard to bring these international talents like a Marcus Aman or Ozzy Miller, on the spotlight.
But I was talking to you about this kind of yesterday. Vic. Like, okay, you got the WWE, right? It was the World Wrestling Federation, now World Wrestling Entertainment, but there actually is no world. It's a U.S. based company out of Connecticut. Most of its wrestlers are coming from here. There's very little traveling outside of the U.S. to wrestle their shows. Yes, they travel around, but it's not world. You take an indie show, in any other country, Germany, Sweden, Holland, wherever you want. The wrestlers on that card, some are local, yes, and then some are coming from every which way.
Yeah.
And to me, that's world.
Yes.
That's everything. It's like the equivalent to freaking, U.S. soccer and football. It's like that's on the grand stage. There's, so much talent out there in every country that kills it. That, we don't get to see a lot of that. A lot of it you have to go digging. We get, certain things thrown in our face constantly. If you're a fan of wrestling, though, you will go digging. You'll find out, you'll follow people. You'll find people like you. You'll follow them around. You'll go to the YouTube pages. You'll see the matches, figure out how to subscribe, do all that. And that's what I think I love about it all, too, is, we're able to do that. We're able to break out and not just be stuck in this very small bubble. Because, yes, okay, like I said, they call it world, but it's really a small bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm unsure if you know, but do you know Ender Kara by choice? Do you know him? So he's from Sweden. He's a good friend of mine. He recently was in Japan. I think he's coming back to Sweden soon. He's been in Japan for Big Japan Wrestling. He won their title, and he came. He did a show in Denmark, and he faced Jordan Oliver of MLW and GCW fame. So that is really cool to just see like this Swedish dude going to Japan, winning a title, coming back to Denmark, facing this American dude. It's more world than World Wrestling.
We get to even see it like here. Like I know a few people, I know a guy, he went out, he's like half of the tag team Noah champion. He goes to Japan.
Yeah.
He comes back here on the off time. He's wrestling here locally, and then he goes back to Japan and fights. It's like, that's super cool. It used to be very hard to get overseas to wrestle. It wasn't an easy thing. And there wasn't a lot of companies. Now there's more than ever. And the international scene is actually really big. There's a lot going on in it all the time. A lot of different great promotions to watch. And a lot of, like I said, really great talent with really good wrestling skills. And it's different styles because you got these different trainers. A lot of wrestling here is based on, depending on which region you're from, is how you learned how to wrestle, because the trainer just basically dominated and taught all their students, and their students opened schools, and it all spiraled out. When you get onto the indie scene internationally, you got whole countries, with trainers and different people, and they learn how to wrestle a certain way, and then you have them collab like that. It's great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
What's the furthest you've traveled to go to an event?
I went to Holland actually not so long ago to PWH, Pro Wrestling Holland. They had a summer camp which ended with a house show, and I had the fortune to be on that house show. it was a 6-man tag, and I got the pleasure of finishing the match. So I took the dub for my team.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice. I've also been to Finland a couple of times, but I'm trying to get to Norway and Denmark as well, because the scene is really popping off in Denmark and Norway.
When you say Finland, what promotion in Finland?
It's FCF.
Yeah, not Slam.
Yeah, I've been trying to. I've been because Dylan Broda, the person that I faced for the championship not so long ago, he works for Slam as well as Arthur Arder. We faced like 2 times now, and I really need to get over to Finland to beat their asses of their grounds. They can't just come to Stockholm to beat my ass. I gotta get over there to beat their ass too.
What's wrong with Arthur Alder?
I mean, he's not like he's a good kid. I really like him, but man, his swantons, they're like a bag of potatoes, and his drop kicks, they're not like. I mean, I think I had like his footprints like on my face, like days after.
We literally had him on the show yesterday. You seem such a great guy. So knowledgeable.
You know what
really
though?
like
But now it makes me question his training and his trainer. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Starbucks don't want to face his students.
Maybe.
maybe.
You
Or maybe
figured
I
it
did
out.
something
Drop
to.
kicks like sacks and potatoes. That's the
Yeah,
reason
I
why
mean-
we won't give them a title shot.
Maybe it was a receipt. What do I know? It's not like we talked about it afterwards, but maybe he gave me a little bit of a, hey, calm down.
But no, they are another good promotion that's overseas.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on. We've been kind of following a story with a couple of its members, and it's been going in a good direction. And it's pretty entertaining to see where it's going to go because there's a lot of questions that do arise. But I don't get to watch the foreign scene of pro wrestling nearly enough. Partly because I don't know how to find it all. Second, timing, and third, to watch it live, it's almost impossible. I'll be up at all sorts of different times of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get into it more. I want to follow the stories more because I've from the clips I've seen and the stuff that I have watched, it's right on par again what I'm seeing here, which I watch a lot of top promotions, and New England has some of the greatest wrestling in the world as well. If you had to put US on the map, I'd say to come in an indie scene, you come work a Limitless show or a Beyond show, you're gonna get great exposure. You're gonna be top tier. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of guys being brought in. Normally, it's mostly like from Canada and stuff, and it's just traveling's hard and it's expensive, and on the indie scene, to get somebody to come over there and the amount of money to fly them, and if it doesn't work out, it's a serious investment.
Of course.
But it's something that I eventually would like to see. I wish that it didn't cost so much to travel, and that we could get more people from the other European demos that come over to the US and fight more.
Just bring him
Not
over.
just on like GCW.
Knock his door and say like he's ready to wrestle. Well, I don't want him. You motherfucker! I just spent $2,000 pulling him over. You're putting him in that goddamn ring.
Well, that's the thing. You're gonna fly somebody over. They're gonna probably stay at least a couple of days. They gotta get there and at least a day or two before to get rid of the jet lag. It's like it's an investment, but it would be cool to see. I mean, people would get, I think, a pop. We don't get a lot of that. Like I said, we get people from Canada, which is cool. I'm all for it, but I want some good European wrestlers to come to shows.
Nice. Yeah. My trainer, Alice Inc., was in America, I think, not so long ago. But she got a jaw broken. She got a kick to the face and got it broken, so she had to come back to Sweden. But
did that happen in ring, like in the match?
Yeah. I think she had if I'm not mistaken, I think she had 10 dates to do. But in the second one, she got kicked square in the jaw, broken.
Oh.
So she had to fly back, 12 or some hours to go to the dentist, and then because she thought it was if she fucked up her tooth or something. But they're like, no, your jaw is split.
Oh.
Yeah.
It must have been painful, but that goes to show you how tough, Most people they wouldn't have got up out of the ring; they would have waited till the
Yeah.
end of the game.
Yeah.
It's like when the adrenaline's pumping. We've had Shauna Reed on before, and she said, yeah, during a match, she realized, she landed a little funny, a little pain in her neck, but she kept going. I figured that I tweaked something. They all tweak something in the ring, once in a while. So she kept going, and the back when they were checking it out, they're like, yeah, you have a little hairline fracture in one of your discs. And
Oh
she said,
no.
you would never think that. It's just like the
Yeah.
adrenaline's pumping. You land long, you get hurt, you keep going.
Yeah. I actually had a match where I legitimately got knocked out. Like I was laying on the floor for like 4 seconds, and my opponent had to because we were brawling on the outside, and my opponent had to come not resuscitate, but get me back on my feet. And I remember nothing of the match, but I guess it's some kind of autopilot that went on because there was footage recording, and I was actually at the hospital just watching. It's like, man, I hit all my stuff still. I took the heat. I had my comeback. There was a false finish and a finish. I lost, and then I got backstage, but I remember nothing of the match.
So you were able to kind of continue, you just kind of roll with it. Where I know some people will get injured and they'll just stop it or kind of just, they'll say just stop what they were going to do. The match will just end a little early. They'll wrap it and bring it home early. But yeah, I've also seen that. I've heard that. People get concussions and the muscle memory of what they were going to do or know what to do is just kicks in, and they'll watch later not remembering anything that went on.
Yeah, I also got to put over my opponent because he called a lot of the stuff, and I guess in my autopilot state, I just reacted to what he wanted, whether it was duck this or take this, give me this.
That's
a scary situation, because it's not, getting a concussion, getting knocked out. It can be dangerous. Luckily you were able to pull through it and do the match, like that. But had you could face further injury down the line.
Yeah. Luckily, it was just a minor concussion, no permanent damages. I got my lip split a little bit, but that's about it. So I'm all good.
That's the difference between a good wrestler and a great wrestler. A good wrestler, they're hurt. They'll notify the referee that I'm hurt. Yeah. And you have great wrestlers that's I believe is on another different level that continues the match and even go to the top level, expert level, makes it look good. Totally.
Yeah, but did you see that? Did you see that shit? It was about probably a month or 2 months ago now. It was out in the Jersey area. The guy got knocked out cold. Shit. His opponent don't give it. It was a tag match too. His opponent don't do nothing. His opponent keeps doing the spots, whips him into the ropes, power bombs him. He goes for the pin, makes him kick out, continues another move. He almost killed this kid. Nobody's stopping it. The ref's not doing nothing. The tag partner's not doing nothing. Nobody's doing nothing. They're just watching this lifeless. He's lifeless at this point.
Yeah.
But luckily, nobody was killed. And the people involved were, I guess, let go. But it's just some point, public safety or the safety of the wrestlers do have to come into play.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, minor concussions do happen. Things happen, and you can, attribute that to the same as football, right? If you're playing football and it's the fourth quarter and you're going in for it, and it's you get a little bump. It's you're so full of adrenaline, you're gonna finish that game. The last 2 minutes.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
brain damage is no fun. You only get one, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the worst injury you've ever sustained?
Thank you. I actually in please. In training, we were doing drills. We were doing up and over, run, up and over, run, up and over, run, up and over, and I was doing the up and over, and my opponent wasn't there, so I was like, oh, I'll just get down on my feet again. but then he kind of like he tried to time it to get under my feet, but he actually accidentally caught my left foot. So when I go down on top of him, going down on top of my foot.
Oh,
So yeah, I had like a sprained ankle for a while, and it got like really bad. This is like the I have a photo. This is the night when I got home. Like this was my ankle after the training.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Yep. So when you sprain an ankle, they swell quickly.
yeah,
So when I sprained my ankle during a softball one time, I was hit the ball with the first base. My ankle rolled off the base. And you, that whole thing's when you sprain it, it pops.
yeah,
You hear the loud pop.
yeah,
Of course, I was like, "Oh, this is not good." And of course, I just sit down, everything's taking
yeah,
a shoe still on, and everyone's like, "Good thing you didn't take your shoe off. We want me to put it back on." As I'm like, "Why would I?" Because I knew nothing. I was like, "What
yeah.
are you talking about?" And it's like, "Yeah, you sprained your ankle," and I was like, "Shit, that fucker swells quickly."
Yeah, I mean, no, the ankle and the concussion are like my major ones, but I mean, bumps and bruises comes with the gig. I don't think there's anyone that has ever been a wrestler that hasn't got injured at any point.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
Well,
name of the
I don't know.
game. No matter how safe and even everybody is, I mean, injuries happen, things can happen, even just normally.
Yeah,
Now, and plus, just taking regular bumps. I mean, and people think that people don't realize, like running ropes. Your ribs will be bruised a while.
yeah.
You
I
know,
remember my first time running ropes. Man, I was like, are they really supposed to be this stiff? They're not rubber bands. What the fuck?
no, like I went to, I'm not a wrestler, granted, but I've done fantasy camps and stuff, and that was the one, they obviously had us run the ropes, and yeah, it's a cable wire, and you're running across cable wire with some duct tape, and you're running across it, and after about the 10th time, your ribs are bruised.
Yeah.
And even getting up and over, like I remember, I had to get up. They wanted us to like get over the ring and jump up and over, and I did it twice. Okay, the first time cleared it, but on the third time, I didn't clear the end of the apron, so I ended up hitting my like my shin on the apron, and it just like gouged, and it's like I still have an indent there where I hit that. It's like little things like that, like people don't realize, like the ring isn't necessarily friendly.
No, I agree.
It's not easy to jump off the top ropes. Those ropes are hard to balance yourself. It's hard. They can be slippery. Like they're not fun. It's not like when on TV they looks like stiff as a board and like you're on like a platform. It's really not like that. Like you have to have good balance. You have to practice that.
Yeah, we had he wasn't a rookie, but at the trainings we were doing like we were gonna it's not a springboard, but we jump over the top rope and we were gonna end with a splash. But we had a crash mat, but the person in question was like, I'm gonna try without the crash mat because the crash mat gives me like I can doubt, but if there's nothing there, I can't. I have to go, full send. So he does it, and for some reason, he plants his hand down on the floor, and he tore his ligaments, like from wrist to elbow, and
Oh,
that took like I think it was 7 months to heal. It's like just because we was like, well, what do you want to do today? Well, let's do this, and oof, something happens in training, and he's out for 7 months.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's not just even in ring. Like you said, your injury there. You sprained your ankle. It was in training. It wasn't in a
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
That's what pisses me off when you see on social media, like, "Oh, that guy botched. Did you see that botch? This guy," and I'm like, "You go in the ring."
You try it.
I've always had great respect for the wrestlers that go in the ring. Always have. But it wasn't not that long ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. Blitzkrieg Pro came to the town next to me. They were doing the whole autograph thing. And a couple of wrestlers were by the ring, and I just touched the ring the way it is. And I am telling you, it's different than you see on TV. I feel that, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys are fucking crazy. You nuts? And
Yeah.
you have appreciation for the talent out there because you're like, you are literally killing yourselves.
Yeah.
And you can,
Yeah.
until
That's why,
there.
and that's why there are wrestlers. You know, they put a limit on how many bumps they'll take a match because it's wear and tear. You know, even the best person that knows how to do it the best, it's wear and tear every time you do it.
Yeah. I actually have a fun story about the ring because we did an outside show at a country festival not so long ago, and for some odd reason we didn't put any like planks or anything under the ring post. We just put it on the grass, and what that does is when you bump, because if it's on a solid floor, the ring ka-chunks, but if it's on the grass, it just goes down.
It's like a boxing ring.
So the bumps were just like.
Oh.
So yeah, we were like, okay, let's not do any top rope shit because fuck.
Well, eventually your body will get used to like the cable.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, if it's just the first, That's the one thing that Logan Paul said, which I did not call him a liar when he said, "This is the toughest thing I've ever done."
Yeah.
Which
I mean, it is, and you're putting your body through things that. Some of it's even like it's very unnatural, like just learning how to bump and learning how to fall, because you have to like, in the beginning make yourself fall. It's very unnatural to do.
Yeah, I mean, common sense stops you from protecting yourself, but
and your instinct does everything to make you want to stay on your feet. It's like you got to shut that off and just fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you do, and what happens, like the more training you do, and the more you do it, it becomes, like I said, muscle memory, and then you can do it, almost in whatever condition you're in. You can just kind of go with the flow and do what you got to do. But it takes training, it takes time, it takes dedication to get that way. But it's not just something you can learn overnight and be like, oh, here I go.
Yeah, I mean that's what I don't think there's. I mean, I hope not. I hope there's no wrestlers that just wrestles on just the shows. I mean, you need to go to trainings and you need to practice. Yeah,
you have those wrestlers. You have people who do backyard wrestling stuff. They get recognition, and I still can't make my own character in the WWE thing. They said, "Come on."
Then you might as well just, you might as well just book Cody Rhodes and become and just
beat him up in person.
I mean, it's just you can be someone else like Finn Balor to beat him, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
it really isn't the same. But they get a pass. I still can't.
Yeah. I had a roommate that when we played the wrestling video games, he created a character just so he could beat Shane McMahon's ass. That's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to kick Shane McMahon.
Because if you do that and they want like another $25 for the Pat McAfee edition, you think to yourself, I could beat the shit out of Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
Credit card out, numbers, give me this. I want to beat the shit out of Pat. But no, you can't. It's just like,
I don't know. I don't play too much creative character. It takes like 2 hours now to make it look real, and everything you can do and all the detail. It's like, okay, that's great if you have that time. And if I was a young kid again, I would be in my glory. But like at my age, I just want to fucking just make something that looks something cool and fucking just play.
Yeah.
I don't need when you start making a character. He and I have sons. When you behind that remote playing any game, the little timer's on before your kid starts jumping on you.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I waste my gaming time on a creative character, I'd be stupid.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't delete it anyway before I get to save it, so it'll be for nothing.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
It'll be right back. It'll be right back to Roblox. I swear.
With the WWE 2K24, I think I've started, creating my character, and then I started with the creative move set and everything. And I think, as you said, like 2 hours went by, and my girlfriend came, just like, still doing that? You haven't played it yet?
I'll be honest. I saw a kid on the indie scene. He's actually going to be on one of our other shows, Jamie Tucker. He actually hired a professional, whatever you call them, to create his character and upload it and have.
Oh, no way!
And he didn't have to do any of the like bullshit. And I'm just like, you know what? Kudos to that, because if I could do that, I'd bring myself in too. I don't have to. I can just have somebody, you know, take the photos, do everything. They had the move sets, they had the music, they had everything. I'm like, sweet.
There you go.
But because there is a lot more options now, and everything can be almost customized down to, you know, the tattoo, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the realism, it's nice, but it takes a long time to put it all in.
Yeah.
Again, kudos to the creators that do, because there's a lot of great ones out there. I got one, you know, a friend named Rocco. He was making guys on the indie scene for a good minute, and like he had it down to, like I said, their tattoos on their arm. He was hitting people up saying, "Can you send me like pictures of your tattoos or something so I can scan them in?" And all these things. And it's like, you know, that's dedication, that's time. It's taking a whole day to make a character, but you know, that's something you made. It's something you created. I think that's cool. And I heard rumors that WWE kind of wanted to do away with that, or limit that, or restrict that. And it's like, that's the best function, honestly, in the game. I know it's a lot, but bringing your character ideas to life, I mean, that's what wrestling's kind of all about, too. It's a creative output. Fans have it. The wrestlers have it. Everybody has it. It's that creative output.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So if you can put together the Mount Rushmore of international wrestlers out there today, who would be on it?
I have to put Alice Inc. and Marcus of Man on there, because what Alice Inc. has done as well. I mean, Marcus is so well known in Sweden, and Alice Inc. has branched out. I mean, she was the female champion of WXW. She also went to Stardom not so long ago. So I have to put those two on there. I have to put Carlos Zamora on there. He's really good. He made the PWI last year, I think. And for fourth, damn.
You can put yourself on there if you want.
No, I couldn't put myself over. I think, I think Ender Kara too. I think he gets a lot of recognition. I think a lot of people really goes into his hype, but I think he deserves so much more. I mean, this dude lives, breathes, eats, dreams wrestling. I mean, he's so like invested in it. And I mean, I spoke to him and I was like, "So, what kind of movies do you watch?" He's like, "I don't watch movies. It's just wrestling." Like, okay, what kind of music do you listen to? It's like, well, whatever goes with like my entrance theme, I guess. It's like, okay, so this guy only, he bleeds wrestling. So yeah, Marcus of Man, Alice Inc., Carlos Zamora, and Ender Kara. Those are my Mount Rushmore.
How many of those can you beat?
No, all of them.
All of them?
No, I mean, I've beaten Marcus on a couple of occasions. I haven't bested Alice yet, and I haven't faced Carlos or Ender Kara yet, but I really want to. I really do.
Just because it's like you made the Mount Rushmore. I made the mountain, motherfucker. You're just on it.
Yeah. No, acknowledge me.
That old gag. But anyways, that's no. To be honest, when Monday Night Raw is on, that's the time I watch the international shows. Whether whether it's UK, because UK wrestling has their own Monday night version of Raw, which I check out instead of Raw, because like I said, I don't like the big screen. I don't like the flashing lights. I mean, overdo it, you overdo it.
Yeah.
And just like the international scene, they don't. Yeah, you have a couple lights, which is fine, but too much.
It's not a movie set.
It's not a movie set.
So that's one thing that I really don't like. Like you go to a show and like even the ring looks fake with all these advertisement ads running across the screens and stuff. It's like you've made the ring into, a billboard. It's like, it's not necessary. It looks fake. It looks plastic.
Well, there's a difference. There's a difference of having a billboard, like you see a UFC octagon. It's like colors are in it, nicely done. WWE is just like black and white or something. And it's like, it makes it very unappealing. It's like it looks ugly.
Plus the turnbuckles light up. That's not all. The posts and stuff. They're lighting up. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I get it though. They have to. They want to, be the best or look the best. They gotta do something different. They can't have the same rings as the indie scene or any other company. They got to do something different. But it's like,
of course.
At one point, they had a very nice ring. Their cage was blue. Everything was pretty good. I didn't see the issue.
I missed the booster cage. The booster cage was cool. But anyways, that's. Anyways, what's coming up for you?
So, actually, this I don't know when this is going to be released, but this Saturday I have a house show for the performance center that I work for, and after that we have a show on the 21st of September, where me and my good friend Jay Miller, we're known as the Miller Time Boys. We have a tag match against the Foreign Legion, is their name, Philip Racine and Jack Venino Jr. And after that, let me check my schedule. I am going to Gothenburg as well as Malmo, and then in October I'm actually flying over to Germany to participate in not participate, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna help out with the WXW show.
Awesome.
Their tag show. Yeah.
That's great.
And I'm really excited because I heard Matt Cardona is going to be there, and I'm a huge mark for Matt Cardona. So.
Yeah, WXW is honestly a great international spot too. We get a lot of the high end indie guys from here get to go out there and wrestle, and you just see all these great world talent go out there. And that's what I'm saying. Like all over Europe, all over indie wrestling, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
No, I agree.
So where can people find you on social media?
So if you want to find me on Facebook, it's just search Ozzy Miller. And on Instagram, it's ozzymiller.wrestling. And then I also have a Twitter, but or X, I guess it's called nowadays.
X.
I don't use it as much, but it's Ozzy Miller W. But I'm most interactive on Instagram. So ozzymiller.wrestling is where you can find me.
Doesn't people realize X usually means stay out?
Yeah. They'll come in.
Like in wrestling, and you see the X, that means like we need assistance now. Now you see X, you're just like
unless it's triple X, and then it's a whole new name.
It's triple X, but people don't see those small signs. That's anyways. But Sashi, you have any final questions or thoughts?
Do you really have the sharpest elbows?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I have a move called the meat cleaver, and nobody's ever kicked out. So it's very sharp. I keep it hidden under a elbow pad. I don't take it off that much because I don't want to kill the person.
You don't want to dull it either. You don't want to dull it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because if you miss,
very good.
What happens? It hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't want to. Yeah. It's like a hidden blade from Will Ospreay.
Oof. Yeah.
Take the elbow pad off and lights out.
Yeah.
Well, Ozzy, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on. We'll definitely be following you and seeing what adventures you come up. Maybe you'll have an XW. What's that promotion again?
WXW, yeah.
I always get the letters mixed up. I apologize. But when you start carrying gold from there, we gotta have you back on to show it off.
Of course, you'll be the first person I come to.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. But Sashi, thank you very much as always, and thank you for everyone for listening and watching. This is Killing the Business Worldwide, and we are all out.